What's up, guys? Blade Master here, ready to answer the age-old question. Can you upskirt the the women units in Total War Rome 2? I guess not, unfortunately. Man, that sucks. But if I can try and get the camera to work, there we go. As you can see, I've brought a lot of women, which probably means I've brought one faction, which is Lusitani. Lusitani in Blade Balance versus Parthia. I'm playing against Bobby and he's taken Parthia, and I've taken Lusitani, and that sounds like a crazy matchup. Because Lusitani, how are they ever going to match up against Parthia? The Balearics Slingers are very good, but I mean the Parthian foot archers as well are damn good. The biggest problem will be the horse archers. If the Parthians bring good horse archers, or cheap horse archers, quick horse archers, then Lusitani essentially don't really have anything to really counter that. In Blade Balance, I've sort of buffed Lusitani quite a bit by giving them the Lusitani swordswomen who cost only 260 talents now. So they can be a very threatening meat shield sort of unit. The Cantabrian cavalry as well, I'm not really sure why. They're good against Cataphracts, but they will get slaughtered by enemy horse archers, just like you can see here. Lost a ton of men. Bobby's brought a total of 4 noble horse archers, which is a very strange choice. And he's brought some noble blood cavalry, a couple of noble blood cavalry, and he's solely brought camel cataphracts, I think. No, 2 camel cataphracts, 1 eastern cataphract, and 3 noble blood cavalry. And he's brought a fair bit of Parthian swordsmen as well. He's sort of tried to maybe go for a very sneaky strategy of bringing a lot of Parthian swords when one would expect him not to bring them because they would do very poorly against sword units of Lusitani. Here you can see my Scutari cavalry have charged into the enemy noble blood cav. Another Scutari cav over there charging into, I believe, eastern spearmen, wasting a volley of ammunition there, and they're going to try and chase after the noble horse archers. Scutari cavalry here doing decently against the noble blood cav. That Scutari cav charge into the rear of this noble blood cav will finish them off. But let's first take a closer look at what else I've brought. So you can see I've brought a front line of 4 Lusitani swordswomen, out of which there are only 3 here because one is going to chase after this eastern spearman there. I brought a total of 4 Balearic slingers, which is very heavy on the skirmish component, but I needed 4 Balearic slingers because I was going to face up against presumably a lot of Parthian foot archers. In that case, I brought a lot of the Balearic slingers. And I brought a total of 4 Lusitani spearmen. Now, with shield screen with 5 bonus versus infantry, these units can be pretty decent as a versatile unit, but I wouldn't expect them to win out anything stronger than a Parthian swordsman. Lusitani noble general, of course, and a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Scutari cavalry and a couple of Cantabrian cavalry. Now let's get back into the action. The Scutari cavalry now, they're about to countercharge the noble blood cav, but here the eastern cataphracts are about to charge into Lusitani swordswomen. The Lusitani swordswomen don't really get a javelin volley off against the eastern cataphracts, so they are essentially worthless now. 82 kills off of the charge, that is Attila-esque. The Scutari cavalry here just managed to kill off the noble blood cav. This Scutari cav dying very quickly, getting very few kills on the noble blood cav, especially with the Parthian sword support. And I've used Frenzy Charge on my Lusitani swordswomen, which is a very useful ability so that they can keep chasing after the eastern cataphracts while they go in to charge into the rear of my Scutari cav. All the while, though, he's forgotten to chase after my Cantabrian cav, and they're getting plenty of high-value kills on eastern cataphracts and noble blood cavalry. Now the eastern spearmen have come in to chase after my Lusitani swordswomen. They've gotten 8 kills, mostly on eastern spearmen, maybe a couple of kills on eastern cataphracts. But you can see my Cantabrian cav has had the time and the space to do their damage, and they've done a fair bit of damage on the very strong cavalry that Parthia can field. And now I have my Balearic slingers there, who are probably going to fire in from the distance. There we go. I've popped quickly load on them, so they are going to be firing into a mix of noble blood cav and eastern cataphracts. And I have no idea why they're why they're shouting. Maybe they've confused their spear hand from their shield hand. They're trying to raise their shields, but they're raising their spears. And they're like, "What the fuck is going on? Why are we dying?" The Cantabrian cav is basically out of ammunition at this point, so I'm going to use them to chase after the noble horse archers, because they were, caught between a rock and a hard place. And now the best thing about them is, now that they're completely out of ammo, they're going to get a charge in. They're going to be worthless now, but they will at least hold out for the couple of seconds that my Lusitani swordswoman requires to get into the battle. These Lusitani swordsmen probably got 6 kills on, I think, mostly cavalry. And the noble blood cap here losing a lot more men, more and more javelins. It's javelin day in Lusitani land. Lusitani swordswomen lost a couple of women to the Eastern Spearmen and the Noble Bloodcap, but with the Scutari Cap support and, of course, the Balearic Slinger support, they should be able to win out this. I should be able to clutch out that flank pretty quickly. So, Bobby, in return, is going to try and press onto my right flank, so I'm going to be forced to pull away because I don't want to take 2 engagements at once. This sort of engagement works just fine for me. The Noble Horse Archers have done a fair bit of damage, but they are very expensive and it's going to take a lot of money to get them to be worth it. And meanwhile, you can see the Eastern Cataphracts have lost a lot of men. Noble Horse Archers are going to be a pain in the ass. But if I can chase them to the end of the battle like this, with my Scutari Cav, I should be in for a treat because Scutari Cav with their 15 bonus versus cavalry should be able to do quite decently. They are heavily damaged, but the Noble Horse Archers now won't be able to do too much, I think. I was chasing away the Camel Cataphracts on the far side with my Cantabrian cavalry, and I'm bringing up a Balearic Slinger all the way in because I want to just kill off this Eastern Cataphracts, which is why I brought a Lusitani swordsman to help support if this Parthian swordsman does decide to charge. Got a crucial volley off, killing off a couple more of the Eastern Cataphracts. Going to pull away my Lusitani swordsman, and then I'm going to charge in with my my Lusitani spearmen. The Lusitani spearmen are a decent unit when they get a charge. No, well, the charge isn't all that great. They have only a 25 charge bonus, but excellent melee defense. And if I pop shield screen, that is just a deadly combination because it would improve their melee defense to extraordinary levels, as well as give them a decent enough amount of bonus versus infantry. Now, here is a big mistake. Some mismicro going on here. Camel Cataphracts have lost a lot of men to my Lusitani swordswomen, and Lusitani guerrillas are going to help support Lusitani spearmen. So I issued an attack order way too late, so they are engaged in a very weird formation there. The Noble Horse Archer did a great job charging into my Balearic Slingers, but my Lusitani spearmen are going to get so many javelin volleys off, and they'll be quick enough to catch the rest of these Noble Horse Archers. In the meanwhile, my Scutari cavalry got 32 kills on the enemy Noble Horse Archers, but they did manage to hold out really well. And then the Eastern Cataphracts managed to get a rear charge on my Scutari cavalry. So they are basically dead, but this Noble Horse Archer here has not been able to do too much and has died in the meanwhile. Now, Camel Cataphracts charged right into my Lusitani spearmen, netting them a shit ton of kills, 20 kills on Lusitani spearmen. But while they pull out, they will probably take quite a few casualties. You can see with cavalry counter tactics, they are fearsome units. But now the Parthian swordsman actually is going to be able to get a clean charge on the Lusitani spearmen. My Scutari Cav has engaged the Noble Blood Cav. I pulled through and hit some of his Noble Horse Archer, including his Noble Horse Archer General. And the Parthian swordsman here are going to get a crucial charge into my Lusitani spearmen. But my Lusitani Noble's General is close by. And meanwhile, a lot of my slingers are hale and healthy. So yeah, they will be able to do pretty decently. The Lusitani Spearman here got a single XP chevron. This Lusitani Spearman, let's see how well it's doing. The Parthian Swordsman has done very well. But the Lusitani Spearman managing to hold out somehow. They will manage to hold out these sorts of engagements against poor, like shit tier essentially, melee infantry. The Parthian Swordsmen are nothing to write home about. But yeah, they might just be able to pull that victory out, especially since they popped shield screen so much quicker than the Parthian Swordsman. The Balearic Slinger here have gotten charged at by Noble Horse Archers, and I have no real Spearman support left, so they are left to eat it. My Cantabrian Cav here as well has gotten a single XP chevron, getting a lot of kills on Noble Horse Archers. Lusitani Spearmen here have gotten charged at by Parthian Swordsman, nothing I can really do. And here the Scutari Cavalry have routed, but Cantabrian Cavalry providing crucial support, critical support here, getting a lot of kills while my Lusitani Nobles chew through all of these cavalry that are retreating. But the Noble Horse Archers and the General especially will be able to get a lot of good counter shots on my General. This Lusitani Spearman and this Lusitani Spearman are about to slaughter this Camel Catapphract. Camel Catapphract did get a good charge, decent enough charge with the few units that remained against this Lusitani Spearman. But it's all about that Lusitani Spear support now. They will get so many kills. And I don't think I have cavalry counter tactics turned on, but it's going to be, I mean, as long as these Cataphracts are tied down like this, their poor melee defense will show, and the high bonus versus infantry or bonus versus cavalry that the Lusitani Spearmen have will show, and the Lusitani Spearmen have done decently here. Here, shield screen and shield wall popped at the same time for Parthian swordsmen and Lusitani spearmen. Of course, the Lusitani spearmen in much greater numbers, so they will be able to edge out that battle. I did manage to win out that battle against the Parthian swordsmen barely. I think which is the one? There's probably, well, I guess it wasn't all that bad. 53 men left with that Lusitani spearman. Probably came in with some other spearmen to support it. My general is not doing very well though. He is caught between Eastern spearmen and Parthian swordsmen, which honestly would sound like a pillow sandwich for him. It's being sandwiched by two pillows, but there are a bunch of arrows that are cutting through the pillows and cutting into them, which is not very good for my general. The camel cataphracts here on the far side getting a huge number of kills on my Balearic slingers, I believe. But there they are, they've routed. Noble Blood Cav staying on, but my Lusitani swordsman with Frenzy Charge again going to be critical in holding down these Noble Blood Cav for an extended period of time. Enough time for my Balearic slingers to change their target, hit the Noble Horse Archer General, and maybe hit the Noble Blood Cav as well. I use my Cantabrian Cav again in sort of a suicidal move to hold down the enemy general, while my Balearic slingers just slaughter everything in their path. So Balearic slingers doing well. I've sacrificed as many units as much as possible in order to allow my Balearic slingers to live and to fire and to thrive. My general here, I've popped shield wall on them. They are exhausted and they've done okay, but they're losing a lot of men to these noble horse archers. And now the general is about to charge into my Balearic slingers, and that is not good. I believe these, maybe the Balearic slingers are just out of ammo, although I would highly doubt that. The noble horse archers try to pull through to the other slingers, but it's not looking all that great, because as long as this Balearic slinger has some shots to fire, they will get a lot of kills. The Eastern spearmen here are going to chase after my Balearic slingers, and they might just be able to catch them. It looks like they actually might catch them. But the critical thing is I have a lot of spearmen left, my Lusitani spearmen. It was a gamble bringing them, but they managed to kill off so many cavalry and of course Parthian swordsmen, that it's really helped out that I brought them. Along with Lusitani swordswomen to become critical meat shields, this army has done very well against the Parthian army. Now the Lusitani spearmen get a few javelin volleys off, the nobles crash through them, but I believe cavalry counter tactics is turned on. There we go, they get a 60 bonus versus large here, and the noble horse archers would do well to run away quickly. But I think whatever few remain there are going to die, and the general has recently died, so that's a big morale penalty for them. And everyone is trying to rout. It's rout city right now, boys. Lusitani spearmen here going to charge into the general with cavalry counter tactics turned on. The noble horse archer general has done really well, double XP chevron for them. But I think Bobby kind of made a mistake by bringing so many expensive horse archers. Maybe bringing, I really like that he brought noble horse archers, but maybe bringing two of them along with two regular cheaper horse archers would have been a better idea. And then he could have had more money to spend on Cataphracts instead of bringing Noble Blood Cav, whom I think didn't really do all that well here. This last Noble Horse Archer is going to charge into my Lusitani spearmen. The spearmen do take a lot of damage. They're only medium spear infantry at the end of the day, but as long as they stay protected from shock cav charge by Lusitani swordswomen, they will do incredibly well, as you can see here. So a few too few Cataphracts, a few too many Noble Blood Cav. As you can see, the Noble Blood Cav were a thorough disappointment. The Parthian swordsmen didn't really do very well against the Lusitani spearmen. Granted, I brought a few more Lusitani spearmen, but the shield screen definitely helped, and the fact that he used shield wall a bit too late on some of his Parthian swordsmen didn't help. And one of the Parthian swordsmen just got sandwiched by my general, so they didn't really manage to do too much. The Balearic slinger support was critical here. These are few kills, but these are very high value kills. I used them to target only the enemy cavalry since the start of the game. And look at this. The average price on the cavalry unit is probably somewhere around 800, I would think. And yeah, these are very, very good kills. Half a cavalry unit here, half a cavalry unit here, half a cavalry unit here, and probably almost half a cavalry unit there as well. So that's like 2 cavalry units these units just killed, the Balearic slingers. And of course, a lot of them still remain at the end of the game. The Cantabrian cavalry as well surprised champions in this battle. Very, very critical for my early game survival. They did help out in the left flank a lot, and the fact that Bobby didn't really use his horse archers to kill them off, and the fact that he didn't bring any foot archers to ward off these Cantabrian cavalry was, I think, a big problem. But yeah, besides that, there was not too much. The Skutari Cav played a decent enough role, but they were bound to be sacrificed to the gods of Parthia at the end of the day. Any charges from the Camel Cataphracts would do amazing against them. Any charges from the Noble Blood Cav would do amazing against them as well. So it was all up to my Lusitani spearmen, and they managed to hold the day. That's why I think this was a very fun battle. It was a battle between two factions that are, a matchup between two factions that you wouldn't really see too often, but it could actually work in Blade Balance because of the cheaper Lusitani swordswomen mainly. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this battle and stay tuned for more. Peace.